Welcome, ZASLOW Show 2.0. It is a Thursday, the 20th of April. Good to have you aboard. We are a Blue Wire podcast, presented as always by Anidjar and Levine, accident attorneys. If you're involved in any kind of accident, doesn't matter what kind, you call 911 first, then you get an attorney on the phone immediately with Anidjar and Levine. Anidjar and Levine accident attorneys, 800-747-FREE. That's 800-747-3733. Look, I told you, we're on our way to, this is early in the morning on Thursday, okay? I hope I don't look too tired. I hope this Punim is still looking very handsome to you, all right? I'm on little sleep here because we're flying to New York, but I'm doing this for you guys. I'm doing it for me too, because, you know, I like talking about sports, but I'm doing this for you guys, all right? We're getting in here. We're doing ZASLOW Show 2.0, Thursday edition. So the show's going to be a little shorter than normal, all right? But, you know, so here's what's happening today. We're flying to New York this morning. I got business, okay? I'm considering going to Nets-Sixers tonight, Game 3. I got business tomorrow night, Knicks-Cavaliers. Look, I'm a businessman now, ZASLOW Show 2.0. I got business in New York over the next couple of days. So the business that I'm there for has to do with tomorrow night, Knicks and Cavaliers. But I'm considering going to Nets and Sixers tonight. The determining factor to me going is, can the Ticket Ninja pull a Ticket Ninja move? Because let's be honest here. Like I would go to the game tonight, I'd go on my own. Now I want good seats, but I would go on my own. Let's have some beers. Let's watch some basketball. Never been to a playoff game that wasn't the Miami Heat. I feel like it could be fun, but I'm not spending like $200 on the stupid Nets and stupid Sixers. So Ticket Ninja is going to have to make a big-time appearance tonight on a game-time decision as far as Nets and Sixers go tonight. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I wanted to make sure I got in here today because we got to react to what took place last night. Monster sports night last night here in South Florida, center of the sports universe, all right? And we got the Panthers last night. We got the Heat last night. So we had to get in here this morning. I want to be able to react with you guys. We're going to start out with the Heat, okay? Panthers, oh my God. Panthers saved the night. Everybody knows that. But we're going to start out with the Heat. So look, I know last night's Heat game was... Okay, well, here's my setup. Let me tell you guys what the setup was like. So, in the ZASLOW Mansion family room. So, Panther game starts at 7:30. So, obviously, that means Panthers are on the big TV. Once the Heat game started at 9. Heat game started, what was it? Excuse me. Late in the second period, I think, was when the Heat game started. But my son came in once the Heat game started. It's like, hey, put the Heat on the big TV. Like, no, the Panthers are staying on the big TV because the Panther game is further down the road. Panther game is further into the game, so they're in a more important spot. And the Panther game essentially never left the big TV because starting in the second quarter, the Heat got down 20 right quick. So there was no scenario where the Panther game was going to get moved to the little TV, and the Heat getting down by 30 was going to be on big TV. Now, of course, we put the Heat on the big TV when the Panther game went to the second intermission. Of course, everybody knows that. And the game wasn't a blowout at that point. So the Heat were on small TV until the Panther game ended. Then, of course, we put the Panther game on the big TV. Then we put the Heat on the big TV. Now, I'm sure you guys were freaking out about the Heat last night. And this is... So, the Heat are weird like this. Like my pal Evan Cohen, SiriusXM Mad Dog Radio, he makes this point all the time. Where, like, for instance, in this series, Heat and Bucks, he wanted Giannis to play last night. Because this Heat team is so weird, and they're so stupid sometimes, so Jekyll and Hyde, so schizophrenic, that the Heat are going to play better when the Bucks have Giannis. They're going to play worse if they don't have Giannis. Like, the Heat, they could beat anyone and they could lose to anyone. They'll beat a really good team and then they'll turn around and lose to a shit team. They'll beat the Bucks with Giannis. I know we only played 11 minutes game one. They'll lose to the Bucks without Giannis. Like, They're schizophrenic like that. I don't agree. I certainly did not want Giannis playing last night. So you get the good news, like an hour before the game. Giannis is out. And by the way, it wasn't a scenario, like Coach Mike Budenholzer talked about this, it wasn't a scenario where they're comfortable with being able to win at home, make it 1-1 without Giannis. Let's wait from Sunday, which was game 1, to Saturday, which is game 3. If we can get there 1-1, that's a lot of rest for Giannis. Like, Budenholzer made it known this wasn't a rest situation. Not that anyone rests in the playoffs, but it wasn't like, all right, he can go, but let's hold him out. No, he couldn't go. And apparently, the Heat fan then gets worried when they upgrade him to questionable in the afternoon from doubtful. And the Bucks said that they did that. Budenholzer said they did that was because just in case he was able to end up playing, they wanted to make sure they were complying with the league's rules when it comes to that kind of stuff. So he was never really going to be able to play. They just wanted to make sure they weren't in violation of any of this. Okay, that makes sense. So now you're in a spot where, all right, it's 1-1. You saw what this Bucks team is capable of without Giannis. Is he going to play on Saturday? I would guess no, that he's not going to play on Saturday. But it's not a situation, like, he's really hurt. He couldn't play last night. And, like, my son was pissed off at the way the Heat were playing. He was pissed off that they're down by, what were they down by, 29 at halftime? I think they were down by 40 at one point, right? And I told him, I said, listen, this Bucks team, obviously they need Giannis. Obviously Giannis is arguably the best player in the league. But this Bucks team, this is a championship roster. This is still a great team. They're still really good, even if they don't have Giannis. They're not a championship team without Giannis, but overall, that's a championship roster. It's not just Giannis carrying that team. And they blitzed us. They smoked us last night, really from start to finish. And this is the part of the NBA, this is the part of the league that I don't like. And it's become this, and I don't know how it ever stops. I know style of play is cyclical. I don't know how this is ever going to stop. Why did the Heat win game 1? Hit 15, they hit a bunch of threes. I forget how many it was. They had 18 threes. The Heat hit a lot of threes. The Bucks did not hit their threes. Why'd the Bucks win game 2? Bucks hit 25 threes. It really takes the whole make or miss league to the extreme. The Heat made the threes in game 1, they win. The Bucks made the threes in game 2, they win. And that's, unfortunately to me, that's unfortunately what the league has become. It's become a three-point shootout. And you get the whole, the Heat, are they going to defend anyone? The Heat's defense stunk last night. Everybody knows that. But the Heat are always going to try and stop the paint. They're going to allow three-point shooting. And if a team is going to knock down 25 threes, there ain't a whole lot you could do about it. Now, again, I'm not saying it's like you just sit there and watch. They're going to have to make some adjustments in that regard. You can't just let them shoot all the threes. But they made 25 threes last night. You had no chance. There was no chance you were going to win that game. And especially with Tyler Hero out. Like, the Heat are going to have to play a slow style. It's going to have to be grimy. They're going to have to play it in the mud. They're going to have to hit three-pointers for sure. But they're not winning any games now. And I know the Heat scored 130 in game number 1. That's probably not happening again. But that's how this league is now. It's not just make or miss. It's not a make or miss league. It's a make or miss three-pointers league. That's what it's become. And I hate that. But while I know, everyone's going to be super upset about it. And let me tell you guys real quick about water cleanup of Florida. I told you, we're doing a bit of a shorter show today. So I want to make sure everybody knows, hey, terrible weather last week. Got to make sure if you got a leak, maybe you don't know where it's coming from, you got to take care of it immediately. Water Cleanup of Florida, 954-900-8635. My boys, the Greensteins, they're going to make sure that this gets taken care of. lickety-split. With over 60 years of combined experience, the team at Water Cleanup of Florida, they are prepared to handle all types of leak detection issues, whatever time of day, 24 hours a day, whatever day of the week. It's the weekend, they don't rest. Water Cleanup of Florida, fully licensed, insured, and certified to provide the one-stop shopping that busy homeowners and business owners require, serving the entire Tri-County area, Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County. Call or text Water Cleanup of Florida right when you think you may have a leak. Water Cleanup of Florida, 954-900-8635, or go to WCUFL.com. Water Cleanup of Florida, 954-900-8635. Water Cleanup of Florida, we clean up your schmutz. So, I know, people are super pissed off late in the game. I told you, going into the game, I did the poll yesterday. Are you nervous about the game? And most people are still nervous about game 2, even though they went up 1-0 and they stole the home court advantage right away. Are you nervous about the game? Or do you feel like you're playing with house money? The answer is kind of both. Now, I'm nervous about the game, but depending on how they lose, I feel like I'm playing with house money. And what that means is, if they lose a really close game, the expectations for me change. Where if they lose a close game last night, they had a chance to win it and they don't, I'd have been really pissed that the Heat did not go up 2-0. That'd have been like, wow, you had a chance to potentially win this series last night. Go up 2-0. Who knows when we're going to see Giannis again? Series is shifting down to Miami. Like, worst case, you win one of those two, you go up 3-1. If they lose a close game last night, I would have been pissed. But I said, if they lose by double figures, and, this is more than double figures. I mean, the Heat put makeup on a pig there in the fourth quarter last night. It looked like they were going to lose by 100. They ended up losing by what? Was it 18, I think it was? 136, 118? No, 138, 122. They lost by 16. If they get blown out, I'm not going to feel that bad. Then I'm going to feel like we were playing with house money. So, now, did the Panther game play a major role in how I felt after the Heat loss? Yeah, it did. It played a monster role. But the way the Heat lose that game, to me, also plays a big role in how I'm going to feel moving forward. And like I said last night, I don't care how much the Bucks were up by going into the fourth quarter, it was 118-85. So it was a 33-point game, which, by the way, got down to 16 with about 3 minutes left in the game. A couple three-pointers away from, maybe Bam and Jimmy checking back in. I don't know. But the Bucks can win that game by 100. We're still coming back to Miami 1-1. Win that game by 2. Win that game by 100. Still counts as one game. The Heat still stole home court advantage. And we're coming down here to Kaseya Center. That's what it's called this week. We're coming down here to Miami, tied 1-1, in what's going to be an awesome crowd. Saturday night is going to be so much fun, and I have a great update for everybody. How about this? We have a poll question, right? Sheets and Giggles. Great sponsor here on ZASLOW Show 2.0. SheetsGiggles.com. Use my promo code ZASLOW at checkout. You'll get 20% off your first order. Sheets and Giggles, I got the bedding right there. I love that comforter so much. I got a eucalyptus pillow. Sheets and Giggles put out a poll, right? A few days ago. After the Heat won Game 1. They wanted to send one of their shows, one of their hosts from the shows they sponsor. Levitard Show, Greg Cody Podcast with Greg Cody, ZASLOW Show, did a poll question. Who should they send? They like sending their hosts to games, the fun stuff. I love my guy Colin at Sheets and Giggles. So, we did the poll. I did not win. Levitard Show won the poll at 43%. I came in second out of 4 with 33%. Very proud of my listeners. You guys came out strong. I appreciate it. That Levitard Show's a monster. What are you going to do? So I didn't win. All right. Well, how about this? I get a message from my guy Colin last night. Sheets and Giggles, they normally send, they send the big boys to the big games. That's their thing, Like Levitard, Chris Cody, Greg Cody. They get to see the Stanley Cup, the Super Bowl, the Final Four. They just sent the Codys the Final Four. Well, guess who they're still sending to Game 3, Heat Bucks, Saturday night? Not those fair weather fans over at the Levitard show. No. Not Mike Ryan with his blowing up bullshit and his terrible fake ZASLOW impression and his hot takes about the Heat. You think Mike Ryan deserves to go to a Heat playoff game? No. Look at you now. That's right. Sheets and Giggles is sending your boy. Two-time champion broadcaster, back in the house. I've been to every playoff game last 13 years because I was a broadcaster for the Miami Heat broadcast radio network. Well, two-time champion broadcaster, back in the house for Heat playoffs this Saturday night. Know it. And that's courtesy of Sheets and Giggles. My guy Colin, he is sending me and my son, two of us, we're both going to the game, sending us to the game this Saturday night. Everyone, come on. You guys did a great job voting for me, and we're still going to go. Now, look, sheetsgiggles.com, that's where you get all the good betting, all right? sheetsgiggles.com/ZASLOW, and if you use the code HEAT, I don't need to spell it. Do I need to spell it for you? Use the promo code HEAT, all right? And maybe they're going to... If you guys keep coming strong now with Sheets and Giggles, if you support Sheets and Giggles, you're supporting ZASLOW Show 2.0. Everybody knows that. So if you use the promo code HEAT on Sheets and Giggles, maybe my guy Colin's going to keep sending me to games. Maybe if we're 2-2 after 4 games, maybe if the Heat are up 3-1 after 4 games, maybe Colin sends your boy to Game 5 in Milwaukee. I can't tell the future. I don't know what's going on, all right? So use the promo code HEAT, and listeners are going to get 25% off any order until the Heat's playoff run is over. Hopefully that's a very long time. But use promo code HEAT, and maybe our boy Colin, maybe he keeps sending me to Heat games. We'll see. Sheets and Giggles, sheetsgiggles.com.